And welcome back to our next training lesson in Micromelon Toolbox. In this next video, I'm going to show you the process of how you can use your spreadsheet that you may be working on to import the materials into the Toolbox database. So this could save you a lot of time when updating vendor pricing or even adding new materials or hardware into that library. So let's get started. So we're back in the product list and we have all the products that we need inside of this project to put together a quote for the customer. And before we do that, we want to make sure that we have the pricing correct for the material. There's a couple different ways that we can do this. By going into the material file, we can select on the material and edit each material individually and make all the edits that we need there. The other way to do it is by selecting a group of materials and editing multiple materials at once. Now this works great if the materials that you want to change share the same properties. So with this 1/4 inch white melamine, we have an estimate price set up at $30. We can select that material and then change that estimate price. And then do the same thing if we want to for that markup. Once we hit apply, all those changes have taken effect. So that's one way that you can do it, but obviously that's going to take a long time if you need to go through your entire library to update material pricing. So I want to show you how we can import a spreadsheet and update that material pricing, and if we need to, add some more materials to our library. Now as an estimator, you may have a spreadsheet that you're constantly working off of with new vendor pricing and new pieces of hardware you may want to use on a project, or new materials that you're using for production. And if that's the case, then you can use that as your material database. And now back into Toolbox, we're going to open up the Workbook Designer and take a look at the materials inside of our library. So I've created my own spreadsheet to use during this lesson of training. And to start, I just copied what I needed from this M workbook. And really, that just includes the material name and the thickness. And these two columns here are the grain direction and the comments. So you might want to copy these and also paste those into that spreadsheet. For sure, the grain direction, comments, that's up to you. Now, once I have that, I can paste that into my spreadsheet, which has been formatted in the correct way based off of our knowledge base article on our website. Here we have a sample spreadsheet that you can download and start using on your own. And you can easily find this article by going to microvellum.com, and from there into the menu section, and then selecting on the community. Now, not only does this take you to our knowledge base articles, where you can find other documentation related to Toolbox, but you can also connect with other users out there on our community forum. Now in the search bar, you can just type import materials, hit enter, and a list of all the articles related to that subject. Create materials from import file is going to be the one that you're looking for. And here's the spreadsheet that you can download to get started. The columns that I have highlighted are what we need to fill out to make sure that we have that accurate estimate price inside of Toolbox. And if there's any new materials that you need to add to your library, just add them to the end of this list. And once you import them, they'll be ready for you to use on your next project. And this makes it really simple for updating vendor pricing too. You can filter out the spreadsheet in any way you want. And here we're just updating our stock material pricing based off of our new year price list. So as long as everything's formatted correctly and you have the pricing updated in your spreadsheet, the next step is going back into Toolbox and under Options, going into Utilities and Database Management. And then from there, we have the tool called Create New Materials from Import File. Select that, and then the file that you want to import. And then you have the message here letting you know that it's found some new materials ready to import into the database, and all the existing materials that may have some new properties. And now that that file is imported, we can check out our material file inside of our library. And by adding this new material in our library, we can also access it from a current project. And just to verify that we have that new material in there, and even a new buyout material if we needed that with an estimate price. And there we have our additional sheet sizes that also updated. And it's real simple, just add a new category and place that new material inside of it. So since we have our solid surface, we'll just place that inside of a countertop category. And then selecting on that white melamine folder, we can just verify that the estimate price has been updated. And it's not just for updating the estimate price. You can also add any new sheet sizes to that material as well. And now back in our M workbook, seeing that we have inside of our sheet stock library our new material. So it's really that simple. Stay on top of that spreadsheet, update it with new materials and vendor pricing, import it into Toolbox, and you're all done. Now you have that material or hardware that you can use for estimating your project. Be sure to check out some of our other training videos and learn even more on how you can use the estimating tools inside of Toolbox to help streamline your process. I'll see you on the next one.